Hello and welcome to Vale Cider. We're craft cider makers in the Vale of Glamorgan. I'm Nick, I'm the dad cider maker.
I'm Joseph, I'm the son cider maker.
And where are you off to?
And I'm off to make some cider.
Great. Like a lot of modern craft cider makers, we started just making cider for family and friends from a few trees. We liked it so much, we started planting up more trees. We've got 1,000 now. We started selling to the public in 2015 and we've been gradually building things up in our production since then. And really we've got a passion for bringing traditional craft ciders to the modern audience in Wales.
Making cider was an ancient craft practiced widely on farms and small holdings in the Welsh border counties. It was the everyday drink of many of the rural population until the 1950s, when it was replaced by the more familiar factory-made drink. It was consumed throughout the year, especially during certain periods such as harvest time, when it was customary to take cider out to the fields. Cider was the staple drink of the agricultural population in the Welsh border counties, most farm servants insisting upon it as a right. It continued to have an important role in wage bargaining up to the beginning of the 19th century.
Apples are the most crucial things in my cider making. You've got the traditional bittersweet apple here, which has got tannins in it as well as sweetness, and that's crucial for ciders. But you often want an apple like this Morgan Sweet to counterbalance it so that it's not overly tannic.
Apples were usually picked during October and November and stored in the open until required for cider making before Christmas.
It then matures through the winter and it's ready in the spring, so it takes us many months. Commercial cider making is done on a large scale throughout the year from apple juice concentrate, so it's not seasonal, and also a long period for maturing is not allowed, so the turnaround time is just a small number of weeks.
Cider apples are hard and the juice has to be extracted in 2 stages, crushing and then pressing. One method of crushing was to place the apples into a trough made from a hollowed log. A stone or wooden roller was then rolled back and forth by hand. The most common method of crushing apples was the stone cider mill until the beginning of the 20th century. Weighing approximately 700 weight, the stone roller turned in a circular trough.
So now Joseph's going to put the apples into the scratter.
The apple pulp, or pomace, was set out between layers of large coarse mats, some 5 feet square, originally made from horsehair.
And the size of the pomace is really crucial for getting a good pressing. You want pieces that are quite small, but not so tiny that they go to a mulch. Joseph at the moment is loading up the press. He's building cheeses by putting wooden slats with cloths. He's then filling the cloths with pomace, folding them over, putting another slat on and building up cheeses, and then we'll be pressing them.
The cider was allowed to ferment for a few weeks before the casks were sealed, sometimes using clay or cow dung. After some 3 months, it would be ready for drinking.
We do our fermentations in 500 litre tanks with yeast, but I've set up an example demijohn here just to show you the principles. So in the demijohn we've got apple juice, there's yeast in there, and the yeast has started to ferment the sugars in the apple juice and turn them into alcohol, and then carbon dioxide gas is released, and that has to escape through this airlock at the top, which you'll see bubbling. And that goes on for a few weeks, and then all of the sugars in the juice have been turned to alcohol.
Most farmers gave up making cider between the 2 world wars. However, the 1990s was to be a period of revival in the craft of cider making, as a new generation of makers, both enthusiasts and small businesses, used the old varieties of apples from the remaining orchards to produce new Welsh quality cider.
At Vale Cider we make our range of traditional ciders which have all won great taste awards. We do fruit ciders, apple juices, and we do cider vinegar. We sell at farmers markets, food festivals, We've got an online shop and do click and collect or deliveries, and we're in local farm shops and delicatessens.